I just finished watching Zetzs 32, and I have to say, now this 32 I think was really interesting. Zetzs versus, we'll call him Nightmare Zetzs, um, is quite interesting, right? I thought that fight was very meaningful. And as for 3 0, there that didn't really surprise me. I kind of saw it coming because if you watch the opening, um, there's a part where Zetz pulls his gun out right in front, and he pulls out his tongue. Right now, in the opening, it looks like he's pointing the gun at Zero. Zero. So, uh, so I kind of so if you look at the opening, um, you can kind of foresee that, which is kind of interesting. But after watching back at the show now, right, and going back and watching the opening again, the the Zets opening has a lot of foreshadowing that I didn't really realize now. So I think going forward, I'm probably going to pay a lot of attention to the opening because I felt like there were that that after going like watching up to episode, realize like contemplating on 32 episodes, and then going back and watch the opening. Uh, yeah, uh, you realize that the opening has, like I said, you realize the opening has a lot of foreshadowing and kind of spoilers if you know what you're looking at, which I never really realized until now. And when and so after Zero was captured and he sent the Zero Rider back, that kind of surprised me. I was kind of hoping we'd see the toy adaptation because there's a toy right where Zet is combined with the Rider, right? So I was kind of hoping that was what's going to happen. He sent Zero sent the Rider back to, and then he would unlock his the Zero Rider form, right? So you can merge with the Zero Rider, and then you can then that toy can be more accurate. But no. According to the next episode review, um, I don't. Zeth is going to unlock his final form. Form. Oh, actually, I don't know if it's final, but his next form, he's going to unlock a new form, right? Now, part of me is hoping that he gets upgraded to the Lord system. You know, uh, the system that 3, 6, Agent 3, 6, and or is it? Oh well, Agent 3, 6, and 7 use, because I think now that 3 is essentially, I don't want to say rogue agent because I'm not sure if that's technically true, but he is trying to acquire power. So in order, Baku has to beat him eventually, right? So he needs to get that system, because at first I want to say that it's his final form, but if we're being completely honest, it is episode 32. I think it's still a little early to awaken the final form. Um, I think final form. So, but see, because I think that it's too early for the final form, It's hard to gauge what this form is because uh, he had catastrophe, and then he had Ordrum. Now that isn't new. I feel like those two should be combined, bind right as one form. If I had to make a comparison, it's like builds tank and rabbit, right? They're not necessarily like they're a power up, but they're not necessarily uh, they're not really separated. You know what I mean? So th- if I had to make sense, part of me thinks that it's like the catastrophe and catastrophe and order are like rabbit, rabbit, and build and tank, tank, right? It's a power up, but it's not like they're not separate power ups, right? And it kind of makes me think that they can also be something. It can also be something similar to the hazard trigger. The hazard trigger itself, um, it's a power up. I mean, it is a power up, but without tank, tank, and rabbit, rabbit, it's just you know what I mean. But like, so I'm not really sure. I mean, because Kamen Rider does follow the rule of three in terms of forms, not always, but usually. Uh, three, I mean, build has sparkling, that's one. Um, uh, then there's Black Hazard is two, and Genius Bottle three, full Genius Bottle, right? Uh, and Zio has, I think, uh, Zio two is the first form, and then it's Trinity is the second form, and then it's Grand. Oh no, and then there's Omazeo at the end. Well, I don't know if that's considered a real. I don't know if Oma should count because technically it's only appeared in one episode, and it was more like like an inevitability. But who knows? I don't know. See, I don't see his thing is I don't know if Oma should count because that's the end game, right? That's when he's supposed to unlock when he's like I don't know 80 or something, right? So I don't know if that should even count. No, it shouldn't count because technically, because Grand, I feel like Grand Zio is a mirror of Oma, so I don't think it's I don't think I should consider it. Yeah. Another thing about it, it is a mirror form. It's because it was originally supposed to go in the original timeline. It was supposed to go 02 2, and then I think go immediately to Omasio. At least that's what I think it was supposed to go. Because if I remember correctly, Oma when he uses the triple when he uses the triple form, uh, Oma says, "In my youth, I did not have this power." So I believe So I don't think that. Uh, so that so it makes me believe that he went. I think he went from 02 just right up to Oma. Right. And Granizio, I feel like is just technically a mirror version of Oma, and I feel like that was only to indicate that help indicate to the viewers that he is supposed to be different than Oma, right? So because different form. Now in the movie, in the movies he does get the Oma watch, Omazia watch, but I don't know if the continuity there is accurate story wise. Oh, hmm. Let's see. Um, I also think it was quite touching that Baku, with the help of Minami, kind of realized what his father was actually doing and accepting it and going and moving forward and like deciding to really fight Nightmare Zets is going to be interesting. Now, I don't know. I am curious if Baku is going to get the darkness capsule. Um, I am quite curious about that. Now, what I'm hoping for, in all honesty, is Zero to escape, and he uses uh, and he gets the the darkness capsule, and that's his main capsule, right? To transform. I'm kind of hoping that he escapes, he grabs the belt, he leaves, right? He has the darkness. No, I'm assuming because that's what his nightmare uses to transform. So I'm assuming that he he is able to go into his dreams and reclaim dark, the dark cap. I don't know, or maybe I don't know, he reclaims it, or he gets a version from within code before leaving, and then Zero becomes like a rogue uh, agent, becomes a rogue agent, right? Right, and he becomes a newcomer rider with the darkness capsule. So I'm really prefer those two. Either Baku gets the darkness capsule, and he's able to harness the power, uh, power, or he doesn't get the darkness capsule, and Zero gets it, uh, as he escapes, and gets a driver, and you know, and it just worms. I have no idea. Maybe Kamen Rider Darkness. I can't really think of what name would probably be. And judging from what I've seen so far and how things are unfolding, I think there's a good chance either Sig or Three is going to be the final villain at the end. I thought Zero at first, but from what I've seen, I don't think that's likely. Zero's going to be the final boss anymore. Now that we know that Zero is Baku's son, I think we can remove him from any chance of him being the final villain at the end. I don't think he, and I don't think he I don't and judging by his behavior, I don't think he'll strike his son down. That's out, not really. So I think that the final boss at the end of the series is probably going to be Agent 3. um I hate to say it, but like I like I really feel that Agent 3 is a lock. I really do, for the final villain. I mean, like, they basically foreshadowed it, right? So uh I didn't see it coming, to be honest. I didn't see it. Like, I knew that he was unstable by stable, but well, I did see him being an enemy because of the opening, but I didn't think he would be the final enemy at the end. I thought he was going to be some like uh, a trash villain, a stepping stone for like the ultimate villain, for the true ultimate villain, which I thought was also could be Lady, but um, once you once you fully understand what Lady's true objectives are and protecting them, you realize that despite her dark nature, she really can't be the final villain. It's not in her cards. I feel like right now it can only be two people. One is Sig, and the other is Three. But then, if you really think about it, I don't think Sig can be the final villain either, because when he looks at Zets, he says that he was hoping to to calm to like kind of like overcome his boredom, right? So I think so I think that he's just doing the nightmare thing just for amusement and nothing else. So I feel like in terms of the final villain and motivations to be the final villain, I think it can only really come down to three now, Agent Three. But I don't know. I'm just hoping. The reason why I'm kind of hesitant for him to be the final villain is because I'm hoping that that some guy will pop out at the last second and be like, "Haha, I am the true final villain," right? But so far, I really don't see that happening. I mean, it's just Agent 3. Okay. I feel that Agent 3 is a disappointment. I'm saying it now. Okay. I really feel as a villain he's a little bit of a disappointment. I mean, his character, the way he behaves, it just I feel it's like there could have been something more. You know. I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you guys next time. Bye.